Welcome to the Out on a Limb podcast. We are all interconnected to a greater web of consciousness. Our aim is to open your mind to a new world through having open-minded discussions about what we perceive our reality to be.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Out on a Limb podcast, where we have a treat for you today because this is not your normal everyday podcast. You see that we don't have our normal everyday set. We have our gemstones, but the plant is gone, the books are gone, and in their place are all of the card decks that we have here at the treehouse. Card decks, by the way, are very addicting, but
these are all yours.
I have capped mine. This is it. I rarely bring a new card deck in, and if I do, I might escort one somewhere else. But anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to come up with a variety of different situations, and the three of us are each going to give our own reading based on whatever card deck we feel called to draw from.
Okay.
So remembering that she's done this for many, many years.
But I don't typically do Oracle.
Okay.
And I know there's tarot, but yeah, I just kind of play with it.
But this is her profession. Yeah. He is super intuitive and whatever.
I'm super something.
On the other hand,
special.
I tend to rely on the book a little bit, but I'm building my intuitive abilities, so we'll see what happens, right?
Yeah. Sure.
All right.
Well, because the idea is anybody can do this.
Right.
Absolutely.
You know,
and
so it's
like
just,
you were mentioning earlier, I have done this for a long time for myself, and I get my own messages, and I understand those for myself. I wouldn't want to charge somebody for a reading at this point, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, what's fun about all of this is that, and it's interesting with the Oracle deck, because to me, I always think that it's meant to be more literal or something, whereas, and there is a literal meaning with the tarot deck, but you can hold up a tarot deck to answer a question.
Sure.
And everybody can see something different, but it's all pertinent. You know, it's just like different aspects, which is exactly how people also do intuitive readings.
Yep.
You know, we all see a different aspect of your life, not the same thing. So it kind of makes it extremely cool.
But I mean, you can take, even though like an Oracle deck has, typically they have a book that goes with each card. It has a literal meaning, or, you know, interpreted by the person who designed the deck.
Yeah.
But you can set aside the book and take the card and kind of do the tarot aspect of it and do a 3-card spread and just see what,
you can do 3-card spreads or more.
Yeah. So
One for past, present, future, or
however you want to do it.
yeah. So the first one we're going to do is for
October.
the month of October. Yes.
What's going on in
Which
the
is
month
when
of
this will
October?
probably air. The month of October. Okay. Which decks do you guys feel drawn to use? Go ahead. What is
I
that?
want to trust my vibes.
And that's Sonia Choquette, I believe, right?
Yes.
Trust your
It is.
vibes.
Sonia Choquette. I'm going to go with my default.
Oh, boy.
I like this. This is James Van Praagh.
No, that's Doreen Virtue.
That's
No,
James
it
Van
isn't.
Praagh.
What are you doing?
Oh, is it? Oh, I don't know.
That's
it
Doreen
is.
Virtue.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
James?
I can't read people.
He actually can read, but
I was
James Van
thinking
Praagh,
over here.
The Soul's Journey.
So
this was my
excited.
first
Why
deck.
don't you do Doreen?
No, I'm
Did
not
I
a big
tell you all
Doreen.
about my first deck experience? I got to tell you that again.
Yeah.
I didn't.
No, please do.
So
No,
when I
you
was
actually have it.
first awakening, after I did my Reiki classes and I was starting to kind of expand and navigate out of my Christian background because I was afraid of this kind of thing,
They're there.
I thought I needed a deck of cards. So I went to Barnes and Noble down by Northwoods Mall,
Oh, yeah.
and
It's always exciting.
and I'm looking around to
your
see if
first
there's
crystal.
anybody that knows me.
like
You're
she's
going into that
like,
aisle.
Right.
Right, like she's going into the
I find the
video
aisle.
store with the curtain.
Yeah.
And there's this huge shelf. First of all, I had no idea there were that many cards to pick from. I was like, what in the heck? Secondly, I was worried about, is anybody going to see me? Because I have a job where a lot of people recognize me, and I was nervous about it, right? So anyway,
Put on a trench coat, a wig, you know.
I found these, and I saw James Van Praagh, and at that time, James Van Praagh was like big on Oprah back in the 90s, 80s, 90s. I don't know.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, if James Van Praagh was on Oprah, he can't be too bad. So he's probably okay. So this is safe.
Safe bet.
This is safe.
She was picking her poison.
But it was so exciting. I remember holding them and just being excited, right? So I walk up to the register, and behind the cashier on the shelf back there is a big heart paperweight. And I thought, there's my sign. That's a heart paperweight. Hearts are my sign. And so when I saw the heart, I knew that I was on the right path. So I went over to the Starbucks area of Barnes and Noble, opened up my cards and started playing with them.
In public.
Ooh, in public.
I think so. But at any rate, I love these because they're very simple, they're easy to use, and they were spot on. After that happened and I brought them home, I pulled one a day, and it was always spot on.
Yep.
So I love these, but they're very simple.
And it's really fun. And you know what? Like, you could literally just, the idea that your guides are going to communicate however, you could just keep a book. Like, you don't have to carry cards in your purse. You could keep your book on you.
Oh, yeah.
And just
And then
flip
if
to a
you
page.
need, if you just suddenly need advice, open it up. You know, perseverance. Okay, well, I'm traveling with my mom and my sister in October, so I'm already doing a reading for me. Obviously, I need to have
Persevere. That's funny.
Okay.
But when I was pulling one a day, because they're cards that only have one word on them and a very, very short sentence. So I always used the book, and the book always made sense what the meaning was. So if you need that as a crutch, absolutely, at least at first, right?
Yeah.
All right, enough about me. Which one do you want to pick?
Oh, which one am I picking? I don't know. I'll take this one. John Holland.
Ooh,
Psychic Tarot.
hold it up. The Psychic Tarot by John Holland. And I think that one is also, at least on the iPhone, it's an app.
Oh, is it?
So you can pull your daily card that way.
Really?
Oh, wow.
A lot of people are creating card deck apps. Because do you know how expensive it is to,
It's hugely expensive.
when you mass produce these, you can buy them then for $40, $30. But
So-
we have a lot of creative friends of ours, like
Yes.
Chrysilla Lewies, who
Yep.
created her own deck.
Couple other
Lydia
people that we know.
Hawley has
Yeah.
created her own deck. And Patricia Gruchins, who we just had
That's
on,
right.
she's created her own deck. But they're expensive as heck to try to get printed out.
Oh, and
right?
our tattoo friend up in Columbia.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Adam
Anna
Smith.
Smith.
So a funny thing, like my husband and son and I, we often play euchre out on the porch. Well, when it's really humid, we end up going through possibly 2 or 3 decks in the summertime, depending on how many times we're playing,
Yeah, because
of humidity.
Yeah.
So I wanted to create a deck called Cards Against Humidity.
That's cute.
But that's the thing, when you're doing these cards, you know, it's got to have a certain level of durability,
Yeah.
and then the glide and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And
So it takes a
Yeah.
lot of money to print them out, which is why this one was one of those. I don't remember who created these. But 49 crop circle cards. And so I ordered these because these were somebody's
That's
personal kind of thing. These are
so
not
unusual.
obviously mass produced.
But wait, you're not doing that for this?
No, I just wanted to show these because I probably won't, it doesn't have a book or anything, and I don't know how to interpret these crop circles. But I just wanted to show a couple of them. They're kind of cool.
They are.
That really
But
is.
this is what kind of like a homemade deck would look like because they're so dang expensive.
And a thank you to, wasn't it Wendy who posted about the latest crop circle in England? Was it?
Oh,
Wendy?
was it
I thought
Wendy?
it was Wendy
Yeah,
that did
probably.
that. It was gorgeous, like a very complex crop
Wow.
circle.
Our friend
Do you
Judy,
not
who
ever
just
go
got,
on Facebook to the Origin group?
he doesn't.
I do, but not religiously. No.
We're sharing all kinds of, you guys want to join the Origin group. Do the
Well, that's
study
private.
and
They
join
can't
the
go-
group.
they
Well,
can't-
you have
oh,
to do
if
the
they-
study in order to be a part of the group because
Thank
we
you for
share
the
all
plug.
kinds of cool stuff. Yeah.
The 12-week book study for the Origin story will be starting up again, the second annual in January. So if you want to be a part of that, it's pretty intense, amazing downloads
Yep.
and information. And then you can
Be part of the
join in
group.
our Origin story family. All right.
Oh, so I just want to say that, so when you're doing, okay, we've got Oracle decks and we have tarot.
Right.
And just so people know, and I don't know how you deal with tarot,
I don't.
I am very OCD about it. And so I like all of my cards facing up. So I don't do the whole reverse meaning thing.
Oh.
And you know, I've had people say, well, aren't you, you know, preventing people from having all of this other information?
Oh,
And
right,
I'm like,
right.
no, because my guides are going to tell me what needs to be said. And then I started researching that and found out that it was never traditional to have reverse meanings. Like that was
Somebody else threw
because
that into the mix.
yes, because originally tarot decks were, listen to me like acting like I know what I'm talking about. But tarot decks were originally created divining with tarot decks. It was originally playing cards.
Ah,
So
yeah.
they were just simple playing cards with, like, say there were 7 diamonds on it. Well, those 7 diamonds, it wasn't, you didn't know which way was reversed.
Right.
Yeah, and that's where that comes from. And then somebody decided, I can't remember the name of the person, because, yeah, now you're pushing it. But they designed the first tarot deck.
Was that
And
Rider Waite?
It wasn't Rider Waite, though, but he became the,
The guru in it.
yeah, but
name.
it wasn't Rider Waite.
Well, I mean, like these are psychic tarot. There's no up or down. There's no, right? So there is no.
Not
that's
on
the
the back
top.
side. There's
Well, I'm saying, but if you're looking at that when you're picking your cards,
You wouldn't
right?
know.
You
Oh, you
wouldn't
wouldn't know.
Yours
Right.
you can tell,
No.
right? On that set you can.
That there's
Oh, if
there's
that goes upside down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, the whole thing, you can use it that way if you want.
Can't tell on the back of these.
Yeah, so you can use it if you want to do it that way, or all up to you. There's no right or wrong way, in my personal opinion.
So how about we work from left to right, because you'll probably have a longer reading because you're professional.
They say these things, but I could come up blank.
Come on.
Are you going to pick one card? Or
You know
three?
what? Okay, and here's another thing I do.
you
All
doing more
these
than one?
tips. I don't know. Okay, so another thing is when you have a tarot deck, or I don't know about the oracle decks, but a lot of times they will give you a blank card in the deck, and they might have an artistic card that has the writer's name on it. I include those because everything's a sign.
Oh, right.
And
right.
so
there
I
might be a
throw
message
that.
in it that
Yeah,
needs
like
to come through.
I might pull over the white card and I'm like, you need to stop. Or I might say it's a time of rest. It all depends on the flow and what my guides are trying to get me to visualize and
Right.
say.
Yeah. What
So-
what you're picking up on. All right. I'm gonna have you.
You guys are getting a mini course in
I'm gonna
this.
have you pick the card for this one.
And we're only doing one, right?
Only do 'em
Yeah.
if you can get the card.
This
All right.
guy. Okay.
And we're just saying in
This
general
is
for
so
October.
complicated, people.
It's not.
All right. Wisdom. Ooh, wisdom. Should I even?
This is for October, not September. October. Wisdom. You need wisdom in October? Are you gonna?
Do I want to read or
It's
not?
up to you. What do you think?
I
What are
would
you
do
getting?
I would do your first impression.
No, my first impression is not. I'm not going to read. I'm not going to read the book, and then we can go back and maybe.
Okay,
correlate
we'll
with the
show
book.
everybody
Oh yes,
first.
yes. And I've got some ideas what I'm going to do about that.
That's beautiful.
It is. So, it actually is very, almost very. Oh, it is. It looks like a monk. Interesting.
It's a pretty card for
It
sure.
is a pretty card.
Is that a heart? What's he holding? A book?
A book.
Oh yeah, it does look like a monk holding a book from the back side.
So that's the Hierophant.
A little monk.
Oh, they call him
monk do.
something else.
Yeah. So what am I picking up about October and wisdom? Ooh, that is interesting. So what's coming to mind instantly is obviously for us here in the U.S., we've got November coming up. It's our major election, and it's not don't okay. What I'm getting is don't look outside of yourself for the wisdom. The wisdom that you're seeking for this upcoming November timeframe is deeply inside, and this is even deeper than. Ooh, this is interesting. Wow, how is this coming through? This is deeper wisdom than what's naturally there in you. It's not. It's almost like a hidden wisdom that you need to be pulling on and pulling that string on, and it's going to be. And I'm also getting the word cloaked. It's going to be cloaked in a bit of. Also, why am I seeing a heart? So there's a heart-centeredness around this wisdom, but it's cloaked in an aspect of yourself that you've kept hidden away. So as you're moving through the month of October, and this is for an entire month, this isn't just for a specific day, but for an entire month. As you move through October, it's going to be revealed to you by the end of October that cloaking is going to fall away. Your heart-centeredness is going to reveal this to you, and this wisdom that you seek, that you need for November, is what's going to set you on a path of understanding. Now, this isn't to give you discernment in which political side to take or which choice on a ballot, but this is wisdom that is going to supersede that and allow you to rise above any of that is taking place in November. But the reason it's so important for October to reveal this wisdom to you is because it is setting you aside for a greater path of revelation that is going to be shown to you past November. So this is kind of the first step, the beginning step, and this is what the process is going to look like. Ooh, that's interesting.
Wow. You guys you just got
a conscious channel of information. So that's
that was really
You did it.
Cool.
Like, and that's the same thing. I was looking right at that, the light coming through. Because like the thing is, different things catch your eye.
Yeah.
And that's the first thing I would have said the same thing.
Yeah.
Like not all that.
Right.
Just that the information that it's like, and it's almost like looking at the sun and just feeling that information just infuse you. It's just, that was
amazing. Good
yeah,
job.
I don't know if I can top that.
I definitely can't. But
Yeah.
I think these
He
cards,
has an unfair advantage with these.
what I am sensing though is that these cards being simplistic the way they are in their message, that this will be last as a emotional way to cope with whatever else. You guys are going to give some information about what October represents, and mine's going to give.
And you're going to
an
drop the
emotion.
mic?
No, no.
Gonna put a bow on it.
Oh, okay.
But this will be.
The whip topping.
Okay.
He's telling, you guys are going to tell information, and I'm just going to give the emotional piece of
The
what
emotional
kind of
support
emotion to stay in.
Okay.
The
You know what I
emotional
mean?
support
Okay,
piece.
I'll
Yeah.
accept. Okay, so should I go?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Now my hands are sweaty.
No
That was
pressure.
fun.
That was.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Vibe check.
Check your vibe.
Check your freaking vibe, folks.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I would say that that's accurate for October. I'm not sure why. That's like really interesting that you can see this person's skeleton here, and because I'm personally
And that's
having.
a tuning fork.
Yeah,
right?
that's a tuning fork underneath the sun, and
Wow.
yeah, it's like super cool. Okay,
Yeah.
so let me hang with this for just a moment. Okay, so what I'm getting is anything that's not resonating with you, like if you sit there and you try to follow anything that you hear people talk about or on TV or anything like that, you're going to find that if you're trying to buy into it, but you're deep down within, you don't really resonate with it. Have you ever had that sort of thing? Like, I don't know if you've heard, like tuning forks. They used to use those to figure out whether you had a bone fracture or not. A doctor could go ding, and they did this to my daughter, and put it on the shoulder. And if the arm, if the bone has a fracture in it, it's painful. So you know, because the patient screams.
And the bones kind of vibrate together.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow, okay.
And so, what I'm seeing here is that there's going to be a lot of that kind of screaming because you're sitting there in this mindset going, I believe this way, I believe that way, and yet what really resonates deep down, your truth, it's kind of like that is getting, you're going to feel the dissonance, and that's when you kind of need to clear away all the cobwebs, stop listening to, it's your wake up call to sort of release from all of this outside talk and so forth, and really get down to what is true and important for you. It's not, like people will focus on, I'm going to do, and I'm sorry, it's going towards the political stuff, but it's kind of like all the conversation occurring in October and how you believe this is the most important thing. And it's kind of like you're going to realize, nope, what's really, truly important to me? Well, it's getting up the next day and dealing with X, Y, and Z. So whatever it is, you have the opportunity, if you listen to this, for your truth to come through. But the other thing I feel like is the more that you deny that truth coming through and acknowledge it, I feel like there are going to be a lot of people, like this is like kind of a collective thing where there's going to be I'm not saying pandemic, but like an illness, just a collective illness, like of people who they're just, because everything's vibrating higher and they're going to be out of whack with that, and they're going to find themselves susceptible to becoming sick. So Anyway, that's what I pick up on for October.
Excellent. You know, that reminds me of how, as we keep evolving, living out of integrity is just going to become more difficult. And that's what that means.
Yes, thank you. See,
Yeah.
you said it so much more. Like you just
No, but it is about the vibe. Like
Yeah,
the card said,
yeah.
what that means is you know that you're out of integrity when things are uncomfortable because you're vibrating here and this other thing is here and it doesn't mesh. And so it's uncomfortable, painful. And if you don't start living with integrity, it's just going to keep getting more painful, right?
Yep.
All right, let's see what we
And
get.
ain't nobody have time to get sick.
So for October, freedom.
Wow.
I think that speaks for itself, to be honest. The card says, I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. And this is the point, right? Okay. We've been talking about this all the time on this podcast, and we've had guests that have reiterated that you are sovereign, you have free will, and that your happiness depends on what you create, because there are no more set timelines. And the collective told us this a couple of years ago, that all bets are off. You're creating as you go. There is no more
Right.
kind of
There's no
contracted
one,
timeline.
right, there's no one specific timeline that we've moved into a space of creativity, of creating our own projection.
Yeah, we're creating as we go.
Right.
This freedom really does, to me, resonate with what our United States was founded on, which was freedom. We, in the United States, really value freedom. And I think in some ways that has been stifled. I think people are feeling stifled. And I think there's going to be a breakthrough between October and November and through the rest of this year to where we will experience more freedom in self, free to do what we feel authentically called to do, as well as the shackles of what we perceive to be outside forces preventing our freedom. I think that's going to start to drop away also, whether it actually externally does or it liberates you from within. That's what I sense.
Do you feel the energy from this? Like, I'm like, I kind of feel like this is sort of epic what we're doing right now, because I don't know that anyone ever sits here and just, because I feel like we're kids in a sandbox going, you want to build a sandcastle? Okay,
Right.
let's do this.
We literally had nothing to talk about for this particular episode because we've been, Samantha, love, bless her heart, is going to be traveling a lot. So we've been doing a whole lot of
Back-to-back recording of
podcasts
podcasts.
to get them in the hopper. And so this is our very last one on the very last day before she travels in a couple of weeks or whatever. So we're like, what else do we talk about? And I just kept feeling drawn to the cards. And Samantha was like, let's do readings. Yes, let's do it. So this was really fun. I'm having a good time. All right. The next card is going to be for you guys. We don't know how it's going to resonate with you. All we know is that it will resonate with you. One or all of these messages will resonate with you at the point at which you watch this, okay? Because it might be a year down the road.
So you have
It's
to
gonna
comment
resonate.
down below.
Yeah,
Please do.
about any of it, but
gonna be
especially how this resonates with you, because we know that it will. All right, back to you, babe.
What am I picking?
Any deck.
I'll take the Starseed deck.
I already picked a deck.
I was looking at that
you
one
going
too. Let's
classic?
see. Let me do the universe. The universe has your back.
Does it? Is that what it says?
Of course it does.
Ah,
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
okay.
So this one is,
My
I don't know
chair
if you can see that.
is going wacky.
Yep.
Here we go.
Are we still going left or right?
Yes.
And this is the purple bag of mystery deck.
Will was gifted that, and we believe it was from our really good friend Betty.
No, actually.
Who was it?
Was it Betty or was it where we would get together over at Anne Marie's and
Oh, Deb.
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 That's who gave it to me. Yeah, that's who it
Yes,
was.
yes, yes.
I
Sorry,
believe it's
Deb. If you watch,
And they're all
that was
facing.
very nice of her to gift that. I don't
So
think
are
I've
we going to
used-
do this the same, or are you
Yeah, let's
feeling
do
a
it.
different vibe?
I don't think I've used this deck before.
Okay.
Well, if you guys feel a different vibe, you can, but we can just keep going in order if you want.
That was fun.
Oh, look, like this is the card you're talking about.
Yeah.
Or maybe. So
Yeah.
it has, this is the
Yeah, I'd totally keep that.
Universe Has Your Back by Gabby Bernstein, I think is how she says her name. And so that card gives a little bit more about.
I would throw it in. And to me, depending on if you said, I'm wondering about doing a book, I'm kind of considering it. And if I saw that, I would say you're published. I can see you being published.
Because
Oh,
it's-
that's a
You
good
know,
idea.
so it's just, and so, okay, so I'm plugging too. So I've got a course that I'm doing, a tarot, Zen tarot that I'm doing in January. And I keep talking about how it helps to build a love language of symbols between you and your guides, because then everything, we already have meanings. Like for me, 1111, like I know that means guidance and stuff, but between me and my guides, they just keep nodding, you're on the right track. And they do it in the funniest times, the funniest ways, and I see it. So it's become more than just that. It's kind of like, get ready, you're going down the rabbit hole again. And so I've been seeing it a lot lately, and that's kind of like, no shit, Sherlock. Like I can sure feel it. But like you said, hearts, is their love language with you. You know that means something to pay attention to. So
Did you hold yours up?
I did, yeah.
The Starseed.
Yep, Starseed Oracle.
Okay.
the blue in this is like,
All right. And this is for the audience.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
This one is, and the picture is going to be hard to see. It's a woman floating in, I'll say, a nebulous cloud. How about that?
And what's the card called? Do you
It's
have a name?
called Weight of the World. Ooh. Boundaries. Let it go. It's not yours to carry. That's what it says at the
go
bottom,
frozen on that shit.
Let it go.
right? So this is for the audience, correct? Yes.
The audience.
Okay, I'm going to start off being a little bit literal with this, with boundaries, let it go, and it's not yours to carry. And we're speaking of weight of the world. So I'm going to say this isn't for,
He's got sweaty hands.
I'm kind of getting the vibe
the
going
energy.
here. So it's, this is not a card that is specific for the entire audience. This is definitely specific for a small handful of our listeners that are feeling that the obvious weight of the world is sitting on them. You've got some major decision points that are coming in. Ooh, here we go again. All right. You've got some major decision points that are coming in, and you're not feeling as if the decisions are very evident in front of you, and yet you have a very difficult time of letting go the specific points to get you to the specific answer. So this is why it is feeling very weighty on your shoulders of what's to come. These decisions that are laying in front of you, it's not to let them all go. It's not to let them weigh you down, but it is to keep a perspective that it isn't the weight of the world that is sitting upon your shoulders. These are self-imposed actions. These are self-imposed weights that you're putting on yourself. So it is to step back. It is to look at your divine self. It is to look at your worldly self and pull yourself out of view, out of perspective, so that you can see what is weighing you down. Because right now you can't see it because it is in your blind spot. It is on your shoulders. You can't see it. You can't feel it other than you know that these decisions are there. So it is to step aside so you can see yourself. And when you find those points of perspective, you can see exactly what needs to be let go to have the one decision that is in front of you, that is easy enough to take on, that is for you to move forward. So this table of decisions that are weighing you down at this point, it seems as if it is something that you can't overcome. It's a mountain that's in front of you. It's time to change the view, meaning that not to take a worldly view of these decisions, but take a self-imposed look at each one, but not from your humanness, but to take it from your divine aspect, and understand that the reason you've put all these decisions in front of you, all these choices in front of you, is to strengthen you, is to bring you to a point that you can decipher the trajectory of where you are headed. And it takes this moment now that you can release from all but the one that is purposeful. So it is necessary to have a different perspective view of your own existence so that you can have clarity on the one specific decision that is going to have the greatest impact on your trajectory. Well, there you go.
Okay. Wow. So look at things from the divine, not the human. You have too many things weighing you down. So when you take the higher perspective, then you can see the one piece that is the most important for you to address, is what I kind of got out of that.
You're so good at I'm going to have to listen to that again. Because I got I got the same thing. But I'd have to listen to it again.
And it's a lot of self-imposed stuff where it's not
Yeah.
really anything that needs to be addressed. Only one of those is the big thing that needs to be addressed. The rest you're just putting on yourself.
It's fodder.
But you can't see it when you're in it.
Right.
So take that observer aspect. We get that a lot with our clients. Yeah.
Okay.
Very good. Go ahead.
All right. So this is for the audience.
And that was for specific audience members, by the way.
That one was.
Not
I
for
wasn't-
everybody necessarily.
I wasn't feeling that was for everyone in general. This was definitely for
But if that was for you, let us know.
Okay. I've got 10 of Wands. All right. So give me just a moment here. 10 talks about the fulfillment, like having arrived, that sort of thing. But when we talk about Wands, to me, it's more like the fulfillment of your dreams, your wishes, that sort of thing. So give me just a moment with this one. I really like this. Yeah, it's definitely not for everybody. In fact, there might be two people. I feel like this is one person in particular, but there might be two people that are going to really, this is going to hit home for. And I'm going to need clarification for this card because it's talking about, it's setting up the precedent of that feeling of having arrived, like you have all the pieces around you and you have definitely arrived. And it's not to say it's not going to be more people, but one person in particular this is really going to hit home for, probably two people. It's interesting. I'm pulling all wands. So this is 6 of Wands.
Wow.
Okay. And again, I'm going back to that stability thing. Something that you have been placing in front of you, putting the pieces carefully together so that it's like you've been managing something very carefully to get it to come to fruition, and it's going to arrive in fruition. Okay, and then I get the King of Swords. All right. And to me, swords are action. Okay, so this is interesting. It's like, as you're, you've been carefully accumulating all of these things around you to get to this point, building this stability, and it feels like it's not relationship, it's more work oriented. And then when you get into this point of this stability, there's going to be it's one clear, decisive decision. Did you talk about decision making in yours?
I don't remember.
I don't think so.
No. Okay. But it's something about there's this clear, decisive decision that has to be made. And it's kind of like that clincher sort of thing. I'm going to see. Sometimes what is it called?
You kind of are acting to that, or responding to that. He said you have a lot of self-imposed decisions, but they're not anything that you need. There's only one that you need to focus on.
Yeah. Okay. So playing off of this one, it's God, that's so weird. I just had picked up the Two of Wands. It's kind of like, that's just so strange. Just know that one clear decision is going to bring you in balance. You'll arrive at the fruition of what you're gearing towards, what your goal is. I feel like there's going to be a little bit of a not the horns of a dilemma, playing around with it, kind of going, okay. And I always go back because I want to try to re-encapsulate. So you've been carefully laying out, getting to your ultimate goal. You are going to arrive, you are going to get there, but you've got a major decision to make, and you're going to kind of sit there and go back and forth. It feels like a polarity between, two things, two decisions to make. And you're going to be playing around with it, but it's that thing of going into that knowingness and making that clear, decisive decision. So you're not going to arrive at the point of everything, like you're not going to have arrived unless you are very clear and decisive. You have that feeling of, this is it, this is the one, I'm going with this. And that's in the face of what anyone else says, any other advice you get. You have to just go within and say, yes, this feels right for me. And that's going to be the thing that's going to have you arrive.
It almost ties with that. It's really interesting how those two kind of jive together. And then this box of cards, the universe has your back, is confirming that the universe is helping you in this process, first of all. That's the first thing I'm getting.
Okay.
And so we'll see specifically how it's doing that. That's why I had the glasses today. And this one is, my vibes speak louder than my words. My vibes speak louder than my words, and there's butterflies on here.
Just transformation, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, on the face of it, when you're talking to an animal, particularly a horse, and you're going up to give some kind of medical procedure, for example, and you're holding a shot or whatever, and you walk up to the horse and you're like, it's okay, everything's good. And the horse is like, no, it's not, because I can tell that you're anxious inside because you're about to give me a shot and you don't know how I'm going to react or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So always, your vibes are speaking louder than your words. It doesn't matter what comes out of your mouth if it's not in harmony with what's in your heart. And animals are the best way to figure that out. They read you like a book. They know this. Now, I think that as we move forward, it's going to become easier. And I'm trying to think how this might relate to our audience members. Could be just in general to all of the audience members. But as we move forward, it's going to be easier to speak your authentic truth from your heart, because it's going to be easier for other people to see through you if you're not doing that. Just like Samantha said earlier about living in integrity and how uncomfortable that vibe is. Same thing with when it doesn't match. So people are going to be able to tell when your words are not, and a lot of people already know this. Have you ever seen, maybe you guys have, where you go meet somebody and you're going to do a business deal, for example, and they're telling you all these things and you're like, I don't think this is the right person. Well, it's not because of what's coming out of their mouth, because they're saying all the right things, but you have this energetic feeling, right? So that is going to increase as we move forward. So A, it's going to make it easier for you to decipher when somebody's lying to you, and B, it's going to be harder for you to lie to somebody else or lie to yourself. And I think that has to do with what you said earlier about this uncovering of the heart space in October. It's just going to be revealed to you, making it easier by the end of October and into November to know what to do and to do the right thing and to live it in authenticity. And your vibes are going to speak louder than your words. And a lot of times we hear too that if you want to help somebody, you don't have to necessarily give them advice or tell them all the right things. To, like, if you have somebody that's not necessarily awake or a family member that doesn't understand all this, it's not about what you say to them. It's about how you are with them, how you be the energy that reverberates out and speaks volumes to them, and it interacts with their energetic body too. So it's not as important what you say. So all of that, again, is, I think, coming easier and easier for us as we move into the rest of 2024 and into 2025.
I think that's along the lines of what my guides have told me is called clear communication, where it's just, it's third eye energy. Like, somebody's talking to you, but they're sending this direct, this is what I'm really saying, and it's just going to take us a while. We're a society that lies and hides behind words and says things to be nice and all that kind of stuff. And it's not like they're going to suddenly go, we're outing you, now you got to be forthright. They're kind of dipping, or we are creating the experience of allowing us to kind of go into that more easily. Kind of just start doing radical honesty. Like, just start doing that. Like, just start saying what you mean. Because it just makes life so much easier.
But you can do that in love. This is the key. See, there are a lot of people who are abusive with this radical honesty, and they think that they can say whatever they want to you, and that if you don't take that well, then you're the one that's triggered. And that is not, I've had that experience before. That is not okay. When you speak your authentic truth, it comes from your heart. And if it's truly coming from your heart, then it's not going to be offensive to somebody. So check yourself before you start speaking this truth. Is it truth from your left brain, or is it truth from your heart? Right? There's a huge difference there. And be kind to people. It doesn't mean, sometimes you don't need to say anything, frankly, right? Even if it is the truth.
I just wanted to do this to make it easier for Will later.
Well, leave him face up.
But if you end up using this.
Oh, true.
Yeah. So I was like, what can I do to make that? Okay.
Well, that was fun. Do we need to do another? I don't know. We kind of addressed the political stuff already, so I don't think we need to pull with that.
October and.
For the election.
Yeah, because it kind of came in together. Because it's not like we were going to do one that said which side would win. No. And it's interesting because even like a lot of the people who channel, they're just kind of like, it changes from day to day. It's because it's a collective choice.
For sure.
So
the only thing we didn't do, how about you have it. Yeah, good. And hand me the power animal. We didn't talk about any of our animal guides. Let's at least pull a card from our animal guides. And interestingly, that Universe Has Your Back did not have a book with it. It only had the card.
Because it says enough, probably.
Probably does. But I mean, those cards are self-explanatory, so it doesn't have a whole pocket guide to explain it.
Neither do these. These don't have it either.
Power animal does. And if you don't already own an animal symbol book, what do they call it? We have a couple of animal books.
Animal totem book.
Animal totem books. Those are really, really handy, especially like I've had gnats flying around me that he has not seen. He can't see them.
She's manifesting gnats.
And I can't figure out what they mean. I have to look it up, see if it's insects.
He was saying there's something evil going on in play.
But if an animal shows up in your life, especially an odd one like the armadillo did the other day with us,
have you
check them out.
These up?
No, a lot of these have never been used.
Probably Kyle Gray. I think it's been used once or twice. We don't use them a lot, so they stay.
Not enough to wear off the stickiness.
They stay pristine.
So
we need to have more gatherings at our house where we're all pulling cards.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Okay, so I'm using Stephen Farmer, and he does have a book not a card book, but a book. You can get his book. That's one of them. Power Animal Oracle cards. What do you have?
I've got to ask. So this is medicine cards.
I don't remember where those came
I
from.
think I know where these came from.
I have Kyle Gray,
It starts with a T and ends with a moo.
Keepers of the Light. What do
Oh,
we do?
Timu?
Yeah, I think these are Timu cards. It starts with a T and ends with a moo.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
So
Because she was on there, perusing, and
I didn't realize they had card decks.
well,
Now,
they're not full size.
some are not,
They're not full size. Some are like half the deck.
or smaller, or whatever.
smaller.
But those are nice. I like those.
These are nice. Yeah, these are good.
So what are you pulling for?
I don't know exactly. I just want to see what animal's with us and wants to speak to us. What advice?
Ooh, okay, I'll do the same thing with the Keepers of the Light, who comes through and what they want us to know.
Yeah, from the medicine cards, discovery of power through the ways of animals.
Yeah, we want to know what the animals have to say to us today.
So I got the blue heron,
Ooh.
and yeah. So what is the blue heron?
Says, I like to eat hummingbirds.
Yeah, right. The very first thing that comes through as I think about the blue heron is stillness and choice. So if anybody's ever watched or observed the blue heron out in the wild, they're very still, but they're very precise with their decisions. They don't randomly just stalk their prey. They don't, for the little fish or whatever they're looking for, but they're very, very precise. And that's what we should be representing in ourselves is stillness, but very precise with our decisions. So to take time for the stillness of self. And in that stillness is where our precision in decisions come from. And that's exactly what the blue heron represents for us right now.
I like that.
Nice.
He's not mucking about.
Nope.
He's
wanna
in
go?
the muck, but he's not mucking about.
Right.
He's in the muck, but not.
Well, I'm doing an ET. I'm doing a, Keepers of the Light. This is an ET. What is this?
Well, Kyle Gray usually does angels, doesn't he?
It might be angels.
Is that angel?
Or is it Ascended Masters or
Okay, so this is an angel.
an angel?
Okay.
Do you want to do
'Cause-
an angel first, or do you want me to do an animal?
Do an animal.
Okay. Let's see who else is with us. Ooh, the lizard.
Ooh.
Dream time. He represents dream time. Pay attention to your dreams and visions. Let me think if I get anything else with this lizard guy.
I feel like that's a message for me. I've been having cray dreams.
Right.
The lizard does like comfort and companionship and company, not necessarily with other lizards. I know that Natalie has a bearded dragon, and I'm thinking about her interactions with him. He loves to ride in her car with her and cuddle up here. And I know those of you who have lizards or reptiles or things know that they love that. Snakes and things do too. So take time for companionship is what he's saying. Take time to be in community with others. Comfort yourself through the friendships and the relationships that you have. And allow those to nurture you. Don't go it alone. You don't have to go it alone. Be in the warmth of that love from others. Allow yourself to be nurtured and warmed through the love of others.
Look at
And
you,
pay attention
just
to your dreams and visions.
letting all that come down. I like that.
That's
Right.
putting me on the spot now.
That was, yeah, but it's well done.
Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so what do these are? Well, Keepers of the Light. What are these? They're just angels, ascended masters, gods, and goddesses.
Gods and goddesses, angels, and ascended masters.
All of them.
Okay.
What do they have to say to us? Yeah, that one.
Who is it?
Dijwal Cool.
Gosh.
DJWALKHUL. Dijwal Cool. I guess.
Never
I don't
heard
know.
of them.
Dharma unfolding,
Wow.
which I don't remember with Dharma is the overall, isn't that the overall plan?
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
greater, not your personal thing, but the larger. I'm riffing because I really don't know. So is that what
That's
that
a
means?
good
'Cause that's
idea.
what I'm like, I have no idea. I hear people talk about Dharma, but I don't really
You're
know.
forced to riff.
Right.
Remember that you are on a path. Take one step at a time to happiness, which is what we were talking about when we were talking about hope.
Yep.
Remember that? We were talking about the little, and I don't know where this will air compared to the other, but we did a conversation on hope and, you know, moving into that space. And so I was talking about how you do that one step at a time and it slowly elevates you. And Allison mentioned through the levels of emotions. And so you slowly, you know, go from one thing to the next. So remember that you are on a path. Take one step at a time to happiness. So I think it's kind of obvious what he's saying, but so many times it's like we want to win the lottery. You know, we want to sell the, like, you know, MLM or whatever, you know, we want to do that thing that they say is quick money and it's going to bring us in. And I'm saying money, but it really could be, if you do this course, you'll have the boyfriend of your dreams or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's that instant gratification kind of, and that was a lie that was sold to us, that we have spent thousands upon millions of dollars individually just to like, we, you know, they prop these people up like, look, this person is successful and this person's got what they want. And it's all a lie, because it's really whatever is, like, when you come into this beingness, you are coming in working for or working on behalf of the collective, not just yourself. And, you know, so it's not, you're not supposed to be coming to shortcut. You're not supposed to be coming to bypass, you know, the lessons, whether they're personal or collective lessons. So it's all part of a greater process. You have more agency. You have more of that ability to kind of pick and choose. But it's kind of like how I tell people that, you know, I could try to do other kinds of work, but it'll always come back to doing the spiritual work. Because this is my overall, it's not like I'm determining it and I've focused on it. It's like, this is what I'm doing, for better or for worse. It has nothing to do with money. This is my path, one step at a time. And so I think that that's what it's referring to.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Very cool. One more time. That dude.
Oh my gosh, this was so much fun.
He's so cool.
We might have to do this every quarter or something.
Yeah, actually, I think it's okay, so you guys, you got to put in comments, questions below, or we'll announce it. We'll announce it for that, you know, when we know we're going to do it again. And you guys got to send us questions. But
that
you
would
can
be
put
good.
questions below
there you
now, but yeah, the next time before we do it.
Yeah.
I usually,
gotta put it out there.
there's a place on YouTube where I can type in an announcement, so
Okay.
I can do that.
So check the
We're
announcements.
getting ready to record one.
So you got to subscribe. You have to subscribe so you get the announcement.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you don't want to miss it. We
You
can
do
only
not
ask
wanna
a
miss
certain number
that.
of questions, and you saw it.
Flip that one up. So I big. Yep.
Conscious channeling
Perfect.
here.
Oh my God, that's going to be so cool.
That was fun. That was really fun. Thank you guys for coming along on the ride with us.
Yeah.
Yes.
We wish you all the best in the rest of September and all of October and November.
Whenever
We know-
this airs, I don't know, but yes.
We know that you can handle it.
Yeah, because we will not be doing this during the end of September through October, because I will be in New Zealand.
That's right.
Yeah, rub it in.
What is that over
I'm
there?
flying-
Springtime
I'm
or?
flying first
Oh God.
over to New Zealand, not that, but
Are you
yes,
going to be?
it's going to be springtime. They're moving in
Because it's your
springtime.
mom's treat. Make
Yeah.
sure you say
All
it.
right.
Yes, because I am going as my mom's companion. I am the poor cousin, you know, taking care of the old lady.
Are you flying in one of the sleep pods that they have on one of the Qantas flights or whatever?
Wow.
I'm not going to want to sleep. I'm going to want to just
Right.
Yeah.
Like a giggly little kid. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
more champagne. No, because I'm
Right.
not really
Yeah,
drinking
more
now. That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
I used to
Grape
work.
juice.
I'm traveling with my mom, and my sister. I am probably going to be drinking.
I have worked
It's going to be necessary.
or flown in first class simply because I worked for the airline for a number of years. And so
Oh, damn.
we flew free basically.
And
There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it.
Because I was flying back and forth from the Middle East a number of times, I was able to rack up enough points that for my very last flight back over, it was like a 17-hour flight. I was in first class, which was nice.
Everyone should
Yeah.
have that. Like this, I've never done this before. Like,
Yeah.
oh
yeah.
my God, I'm so
You'll
excited.
never want to go coach.
No, you'll never
That's
want.
for
Yeah,
sure.
you'll never. Yeah.
I have been in the kind of coach where you drop something on the ground.
can't even pick
Yeah,
it
you have to get out in the aisle and then you have to kind of
Right.
plank down
Yes.
and roll over and grab it and then plank yourself
funny.
back
Yes.
up. So it's like, I'm super, super excited for
Yes.
this.
You'll have
This will
fun.
be fun.
You'll have fun.
We'll have to record and talk about it when you get back.
That's right.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks for that fun time joining it with us.
Yep.
Hit
Good
the,
idea.
the thumbs up. Do subscribe if you haven't, and share, and let everybody see what's coming for the next couple of months.
Yep.
Until next time.
See y'all.
Bye.